Hi Lions, welcome back to the second half of your world geography lesson. In this part, we are going to be taking notes, so please get out your history notebook. Go ahead and take that 5-subject notebook out. First thing I want you to do is to start by turning to the 4th section of your 5-section notebook. The first 3 sections are going to be used for your math notes. When you open up to the divider or the pocket, title it History. And at the top of your first page, write World Geography. If at any time during this video you need time to write your notes, simply hit the pause button, write your notes, and then restart. So below our title, World Geography, we are going to define a globe and a map. A globe, a 3-dimensional model of the Earth, a sphere. Map, a 2-dimensional, flat drawing representing a place. Next, let's define what a hemisphere is. A hemisphere is half of the Earth. And now we're going to start drawing. We'll start by drawing a circle about 5 spaces tall. We're going to add little lines at the top and the bottom to represent Earth's axis. And remember that it's tilted. Label the top one the North Pole and the bottom one the South Pole. Then draw this line for your equator. Now let's add some more labels. Let's label that equator. It is 0 degrees latitude, and we can also call it Earth's belt. Then label the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Be sure to draw little arrows so you know what label goes with what section. Next, we're going to add another circle down below the first. Go ahead and put your axis in for the North Pole and the South Pole. And this time, let's draw that prime meridian that goes from the North Pole to the South Pole. Okay, you can also add in a little dotted line, which represents the international date line on the other side of the Earth. Now let's add our labels and draw some little arrows. Label the prime meridian. Label the international date line. Label your eastern hemisphere and your western hemisphere. Now you've just finished your first page of notes. Go ahead and turn your page over. And now we're on page 2. Page 2 is going to be our world map. And we'll start by defining a continent. A continent is one of Earth's large main divisions of land. And an ocean is a large expanse of salt water. Next, we're going to actually draw a world map into our notes. We'll start by drawing a large oval on your page. Then on top of your oval, draw a large plus sign. That is going to represent our equator and our prime meridian. Now let's label our hemispheres. NW for Northwestern Hemisphere, SW for Southwestern Hemisphere, NE for Northeastern Hemisphere, and SE for Southeastern Hemisphere. Now comes the fun part. We're going to start adding our continents. Now they don't have to be drawn perfectly, but we are going to draw shapes that represent the continents, and we are going to number them. We'll start by drawing South America. Mine kind of looks like a melting ice cream cone, and notice where it sits. It is to the left of the prime meridian, and the top of it is right along that equator. Once I get South America drawn, I'm going to draw North America right above it. Notice that it is all in the northwestern hemisphere. Now let's move on to add more continents. We'll add Africa, which looks like a larger, slightly melting ice cream cone, and notice where it sits on this plus sign that we've drawn. Okay, we're numbering our continents. Number it North America 1, South America 2, Africa number 3. Now let's add Europe. Europe is right above Africa. It's kind of this odd-shaped triangle. Number that number 4. And don't forget to add England. It is an island nation, sits right on the prime meridian, just above Europe. Okay, now we're going to add Asia. My Asia is this blob-like shape to the right of Europe, and I've numbered it number 5. Next we'll add Australia, number 6. It is this oval south of Asia in the southeastern hemisphere. And last, I've put in the continent of Antarctica, number 7, down here by the South Pole. Now let's finish the labels so we can start our key. We're going to add letters for the oceans. I'm starting by putting A for Atlantic right here between North and South America and Africa. Next, I'm going to put 2 letter B's to represent the Pacific Ocean, one all the way over here to the left and the other all the way over here to the right. Next, I'll add the letter C for the Indian Ocean. Notice it is between Africa, Asia, and Australia. Next is the letter D, all the way up here by the North Pole, and letter E down here next to Antarctica. Now that we've got our world map drawn, let's set up a T-chart down at the bottom of your page. One side of the T-chart will be continents, and the other side, oceans. We'll start by creating our key for the continents, so we will number 1 through 7 on the left side of our T-chart. Number 1 is North America. Number 2 is South America. Number 3 is Africa. Number 4 is Europe. Number 5 is Asia. 6 is Australia. And 7 is Antarctica. I know that's a lot to write, so be sure to pause the video if you need more time to finish. Now let's finish our key by labeling our oceans. A is Atlantic, B is Pacific, C is the Indian Ocean, D is the Arctic Ocean, and E is the Southern Ocean. So now that we've finished writing all of our first notes in our history notebook, I'd like you to go back and review your notes or go back and play some of those games again before taking your quiz.